I never imagined the night before my wedding would start with me humming love songs while straightening the cuffs of my suit. I kept thinking about Emma's smile, the way she said my name, the way she once told me I made her feel safe. I walked in her living room, ready to tell her how thrilled I was. Instead, she looked at me like I was a stranger. "What's with that look?" I asked, forcing a laugh. "Don't tell me you lost the rings." "I need to talk to you," she said, her voice flat. My stomach tightened. "Okay, talk. We can't get married tomorrow." For a moment, I honestly thought she was messing with me. "Very funny. You know I'm already stressed, right?" "I'm not joking," she said. "I want to call it off." My breath caught. "Call it off?" "Emma, what are you talking about?" She crossed her arms. "I can't do this. Not when I'm still thinking about someone else." "Someone else." The words felt like a slap. "Who?" "Liam." I blinked. "Your ex? The one who left 3 years ago?" "Emma." He vanished without a goodbye. "He's back," she whispered. "And that means what? You suddenly want him again?" "Yes." I felt my chest hollow out. "Why now? Why the night before our wedding?" "Because I didn't want to lie to you," she said. "I try to love you the way you love me." "You tried?" My voice cracked. Was I just a placeholder until he showed up again? She didn't deny it. Before I could speak again, Maya stepped out from the hallway, holding a glass like she wished it were something stronger. Her eyes darted to me, then away. "Maya," I asked, "how long have you been standing there?" She hesitated. "Long enough." I swallowed. "Did you know?" She nodded, guilt spilling across her face. "She didn't want to hurt you. I told her to talk to you sooner." Emma shot her a glare. "I was going to handle it." "You didn't handle anything," Maya said softly. I rubbed my hands over my face. "So this whole week, all those moments you were distant, it was because of him?" Emma looked at the floor. I didn't know how to say it. "Try honesty," I snapped. Maya stepped closer. "I'm sorry. You didn't deserve this." I let out a shaky breath. "I thought you were my future, Emma." She finally met my eyes, but there was no warmth, just cold certainty. "I'm sorry," she repeated. I felt something inside me break quietly. "Is he waiting for you?" I asked. She didn't answer. Maya whispered, "You're not okay. Let me drive you home." I shook my head. "No, I need air." Emma took a step back. "I didn't want to do this tonight." "Then why did you?" I asked. "Because it was the right thing," she said. "For you," I muttered. No one said anything after that. The room felt too small, too heavy. Maya reached for my arm. "Please don't walk out like this." I'll be fine," I lied. "I just need to leave before I say something I regret." Emma didn't stop me. As I reached the door, I felt this strange mix of disbelief and nausea twisting through me. I kept waiting for her to call after me, to say she made a mistake, to show even a flicker of hesitation. But the silence behind me was like a door closing. I wanted to scream, to demand an explanation that didn't hurt, but all I could do was breathe through the ache. When I stepped outside, the cold night air hit me like a punch. I stared at the dark street, at the glowing windows around me, at the life I thought I was hours away from starting. And then I walked slowly. Each step felt like my world was collapsing behind me. I didn't sleep at all that night. I just lay on my bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying every second of the conversation with Emma. Her voice kept echoing in my head, that cold tone, that finality I never expected. I kept asking myself what I did wrong and why she didn't fight for us even once. Around 3 in the morning, I grabbed my phone and started typing a message to her. I tried to keep it calm, but my hands were shaking. "I just need closure," I wrote. "Just tell me why." I stared at the message for 10 minutes before sending it. The moment it delivered, I watched the screen like it might magically light up with her reply, but nothing happened. At 6, I gave up waiting and sat on the edge of my bed. The message was still unread. I checked her profile, even though I knew I shouldn't. That's when I saw it. The ring was gone from her pictures, and a new photo had her standing beside Liam, smiling like nothing had ever happened between us. My stomach twisted. I felt humiliated, like I had been the only one mourning something already dead. Daniel showed up around noon without warning. "Open the door before I break it," he called out. When I let him in, he scanned my face and sighed. "You look like hell." "Thanks," I muttered. He sat beside me. Did she reply? "No." "Did you sleep?" "Not really." He shook his head. "I heard about the pictures." People are talking. I winced. Great. Exactly what I needed. I'm serious, he said. Staying here will destroy you. Everywhere you go, you'll see reminders of her. You need space, man. You need distance. And do what? Leave the city. Start somewhere fresh. You don't owe her your presence. I stare at my phone again. I don't know. You will, he said gently. I rub my palms against my jeans. What if I'm overreacting? You're not, he replied. She replaced you in less than a day. That's not love. That's convenience. The words hit hard. I just wanted a reason. Something that makes sense. There is no sense, he said. Sometimes people choose what hurts them more. Sometimes they choose what hurts others more. I leaned back, staring at the ceiling again. I thought I mattered to her. You did, he said quietly. Just not enough for her to stay. That truth burned. Daniel nudged my shoulder. Listen, you deserve a life where you're not begging someone to see your value. I swallowed. Leaving feels like running. It's healing, he insisted. And you need that. I didn't answer. I wasn't sure I had one. I opened my gallery, and the first picture staring back was Emma laughing in the sunlight, her arms wrapped around me. My chest tightened. How do I let go of someone who was my whole world yesterday? Daniel exhaled. By remembering she walked out of your world without looking back. I nodded slowly, even though everything inside me screamed. So, he asked, what do you want to do? I hesitated, then whispered, I want the pain to stop. Then take the first step. I looked at the screen again. My thumb hovered over the delete button. This feels impossible. You'll survive, he said. You always do. It took every ounce of strength to press that button. One photo disappeared, then another, until my gallery felt empty, like the last piece of her was fading. When I finally stopped, I whispered, I'm done. Then I finally breathed for real today. I packed my bags the next morning without saying a word to anyone. Every folded shirt felt like another reminder of the plans I'd made with Emma, plans that meant nothing now. Daniel stood in the doorway watching me. You sure about this? He asked. I have to be, I replied. If I stay here, I'll drown. He nodded. Then let's go. The drive out of the city was painfully quiet. Buildings I once loved blurred past the window like they were erasing themselves from my life. Daniel eventually broke the silence. You're thinking about her again? For years, I whispered. I gave her 4 years, and she replaced me in 1 week. She didn't deserve you, he said. I sighed. Why does it still feel like I'm the one who wasn't enough? He shook his head. Because you cared. People who care always take the hit. I stared out the window. I hate that it still hurts. It'll hurt until it doesn't, he said. But you're doing the right thing. When we reached his apartment in the new city, I felt like I'd walked into a different world. Nothing smelled like memories. Nothing reminded me of the past. It was uncomfortable, but it was also freeing. You can stay here until you figure things out, Daniel said. I'll find a job soon, I murmured. Take your time, he insisted. The next week, I got an interview at a tech company. When I walked into the office, my heart was racing. It felt like a chance to start again. During the interview, a man with silver hair and sharp eyes stepped in. Mr. Grant, the recruiter said, this is the candidate I mentioned. Mr. Grant looked at me. You built these projects yourself? Yes, I replied, trying to sound confident. Impressive, he said. We need someone who can think fast. Can you handle that? I can. He studied me for a moment. You start Monday. When I walked out, I called Daniel immediately. I got the job, I said. I knew you would, he replied proudly. My first day was a whirlwind of introductions and systems I barely understood. At lunch, I sat alone until a woman with short hair and glasses approached me. You're the new guy, right? She asked. Yeah, I said, trying not to get lost. She smiled. I'm Lena. I can show you around before you end up in the server room by mistake. I chuckled. That actually sounds like something I'd do. Well, good thing I'm here, she said. Come on. As we walked through the office, she explained everything with patience I didn't expect. So, she asked, what brings you to our city? I hesitated. A fresh start. Rough past. You could say that. She didn't push. Well, I hope it gets better here. Thanks, I said softly. Later that week, Mr. Grant called me into his office. You're adapting quickly, he said. I'm trying. You don't just try, he replied. You execute. Not many people do that. His words surprised me. "Thank you. Keep this up," he said. "You'll go far." Walking back to my desk, I felt something strange, something I hadn't felt in weeks. "Hope." That night, Daniel asked, "How was work?" "Good," I said. "Better than I expected." "See? Life isn't ending. It's shifting." "Maybe," I murmured. When I lay down to sleep, the pain was still there, heavy and sharp. But for the first time since everything fell apart, I felt like maybe I could rebuild. Maybe I wasn't as broken as I thought. Training under Mr. Grant felt like being thrown into deep water, but for the first time in months, I didn't feel like I was drowning. "Show me how you'd optimize this," he said one morning. I looked at the screen. "You're running 3 unnecessary loops. If we compress the data first." "Good," he interrupted. "Do it." I typed quickly, surprised by how natural it felt. He nodded. "You learn fast." "Well, I'm trying not to embarrass myself." I joked. "You're doing the opposite," he replied. During lunch, Lena appeared with 2 coffees. "You look stressed," she said. "I'm always stressed around Mr. Grant," I admitted. "He's strict, not cruel," she said. "Besides, he likes people who challenge him." "Challenge him?" I laughed. "I'm just trying to survive." She smiled. "Come to the team dinner tonight. You need a break." "I'm not great with groups." "Which is exactly why you should come," she insisted. That evening, I ended up at a crowded restaurant with the team. Lena nudged me every time I drifted into silence. "You okay?" she whispered. "Still adjusting," I said. "Well, you fit better than you think," she replied. Halfway through dinner, my phone buzzed. A friend from my old city had sent a message. "Bro, Emma's new guy is already messing up. Drinking, flirting with other women, total chaos." Lena noticed my expression. "Bad news." I locked my phone. "Nothing important." "You don't look like it's nothing," she said softly. I took a breath. "It's just old life stuff." "You don't have to talk about it," she said. "I don't want to talk about her anymore," I replied. "I have a new start here." She smiled. "Then focus on that." The next morning, Mr. Grant called me into his office. "You've been performing beyond expectations," he said. I blinked. "Really? Don't sound so shocked," he replied. "You have discipline, and you think before you act. That's rare." "Thank you," I said quietly. "I'm assigning you to a new project," he continued. "A major one. High stakes, high visibility." My heart raced. "Are you sure I'm ready for that?" "If you weren't, I wouldn't give it to you," he said. "I don't hand out opportunities. People earn them." I nodded. "I won't let you down." "See that you don't," he replied, though there was a hint of approval in his voice. Outside his office, I ran into Lena. "You look like you just won something," she said. "I think I did," I replied. "Oh, tell me." "Grant's giving me a big project." She clapped lightly. "That's huge. You deserve it." I shrugged. "I'm just trying to keep up." "You're doing more than that," she said. "You're building something for yourself." Her words lingered with me. For the first time since everything collapsed, I felt a spark, something close to pride. That night, Daniel called. "How's the new circle?" he asked. "Good," I said. "Better than I expected." "And Emma?" "I don't care anymore," I lied. He didn't call me out on it. "Focus on your future. You're finally getting one." I exhaled. "Yeah, I think I'm ready." When I hung up, I stared at my ceiling and realized something. My life wasn't just recovering, it was shifting into something I hadn't imagined. And for the first time, that thought didn't scare me. Months passed before I realized how much I had changed. I felt steadier, clearer, and more in control. Work kept me busy, and Lena made sure I didn't isolate myself the way I used to. One evening, while finishing a report, my phone buzzed with a name I never expected to see again. "Emma." I whispered. "Why now?" Her message said, "Can we talk?" Nothing else. No apology. No explanation. Just those 3 words pulling at old wounds. I stared at the screen until the light dimmed, but I didn't reply. I couldn't. The next day, while I was reviewing code changes, my phone rang again, this time showing Maya's name. "Please don't hang up," she said quickly. "I just need to talk to you once." I took a slow breath. "What is it, Maya?" She hesitated. "I'm sorry. For everything. You didn't deserve what happened." I leaned back in my chair. "Why are you telling me this now?" "Because she's falling apart," Maya said. "Liam drinks too much. He cheats, lies, and blames her for everything." My stomach twisted, but I kept my voice steady. What does that have to do with me? She regrets it, Maya whispered. All of it. She said choosing him was the worst mistake she's ever made. I shut my eyes. Maya, I don't want this. I moved on. I'm trying. I know, she said. I just thought you deserved to hear the truth. Thanks for telling me, I said quietly. But I don't need to go back to that pain. When I hung up, my hands were trembling even though I kept telling myself I didn't care. Later at work, Lena noticed immediately. You look like you're buffering, she joked. I forced a smile. Just tired. You're lying, she said softly. You only smile like that when something's wrong. I swallowed. It's nothing I want to reopen. Just ghosts. She studied my face. If you ever want to talk, I'm here. No pressure. I nodded, grateful and exhausted. Thanks. Really. When she walked away, I let out a shaky breath and stared at my hands. I hated how easily the past could return. I tried distracting myself with work, but my thoughts kept circling around Emma's message, Maya's voice, and every wound I thought had healed. Why now? Why reach out after choosing someone who never valued her? Why drag me back into chaos I finally escaped? When Daniel called that night, he immediately heard the tension in my voice. What happened, he asked. She texted, I said, and Maya called. Apparently, the perfect guy isn't so perfect. Daniel sighed. And how do you feel? I stared at the ceiling. Like someone ripped open a scar I worked months to close. Don't let her pull you back, he warned. You build a life here. Don't trade it for misery again. I rubbed my eyes. I'm not going back. I just wasn't ready to feel this again. Then breathe, he said. Let it pass. You're stronger now. After we hung up, I sat in the quiet apartment and let the silence wrap around me. I hated that Emma still had the power to shake me, even from miles away. But I also knew I wasn't the same broken man she left behind. I stood up, grabbed a glass of water, and whispered to myself, You're not going backward, saying it didn't erase the pain, but it reminded me that I had survived worse nights. And even though my chest felt tight, I knew tomorrow would be different. I just needed time to breathe again today. When Mr. Grant called me into his office that morning, I thought he was about to critique my latest report. Instead, he leaned back in his chair and said, Congratulations. You're being promoted. My eyes widened. Wait, promoted? Me? Yes, you, he replied. Your project outperformed expectations. You earned this. I couldn't help smiling. Thank you, sir. Really? He nodded. Keep proving yourself. The moment I stepped out, Lena appeared like she'd been waiting. Your face says something big just happened. I got promoted, I said, still stunned. No way, she shouted, grabbing my arm. We're celebrating tonight. Non-negotiable. I laughed. You don't even know where I want to celebrate. Doesn't matter, she said. You're choosing the place, and I'm choosing the desserts. When Daniel heard the news, he practically yelled through the phone. I knew it. My guy is leveling up. Drinks tonight. I'm coming over. Lena already claimed a celebration, I said. Then it's a double celebration, he insisted. I'm not missing this. That evening, the three of us sat around a table filled with food I didn't even remember ordering. Daniel raised his glass to the man who crawled out of heartbreak and climbed into success. I groaned. Why do you have to say it like that? Lena laughed. Because it's true. Look at you, new job, new apartment, new life. I shrugged, feeling a warmth that wasn't from the drink. Feels strange, honestly. Good strange, she asked. Better than anything I expected, I admitted. Moving into my new apartment a week later felt surreal. Daniel helped me carry the last box inside. Bro, this place looks expensive, he said. It's within budget, I replied. He smirked. Within newly promoted budget. I rolled my eyes, but I couldn't stop smiling. At night, I posted a picture of my apartment, the first post I'd made in months. I didn't think much of it, but the next morning, my notifications were full. I checked who viewed my story, and my stomach tightened when I saw her name. Emma. I stared at it for a long moment before tossing my phone aside. At work, Lena immediately noticed my distracted expression. You okay? Just someone from my past lurking around, I muttered. Someone who shouldn't matter anymore? She asked. Exactly, I sighed. That afternoon, Maya messaged me. She cried when she saw how well you're doing. I stared at the screen, unsure whether to laugh or feel something sharper. Maya continued. She said she never thought you'd move on so fast. I typed back, asterisk, I didn't move on fast. I just didn't stop living, asterisk. She replied, asterisk, I know. I'm glad you're doing better, asterisk. I locked my phone and leaned back in my chair. Daniel called later. Heard she's watching your stories. News travels fast, I said. Are you okay? I don't know, I admitted. Part of me wants her to regret everything. Part of me wants to not care at all. He paused. Both are normal, but you're doing great. Don't let the past pull you back. I won't, I said. When I got home that night, I stood in the middle of my apartment, breathing in the quiet. Everything around me, my job, my friends, this space was built after the worst moment of my life. And somehow, I had survived it. I picked up my phone again, looked at the unread message from Maya, the viewed story notification from Emma, and whispered, I'm not going backward. Then I turned off my phone, sat on my new sofa, and let myself feel something I hadn't allowed in a long time. Pride for the man I was becoming. I spotted her the moment I stepped out of the building, standing near the railing like a ghost pulled out of some old nightmare. Emma, I muttered before I could stop myself. She lifted her head slowly. I was scared you'd walk past me, she said. I didn't know if you'd even want to see me. I swallowed hard. Why are you here? She stepped closer. Can we talk? Please, just for a minute. I took a breath, steadying myself. You want to talk, so talk. She flinched but nodded. Liam left me, she whispered. Or maybe I finally saw who he really was. He used me, lied to me, made me feel stupid, and then he just walked away. I didn't respond. She kept going, voice shaking. I thought I knew what I wanted. I thought leaving you would give me something better. But everything fell apart. That's unfortunate, I said quietly. Her eyes filled. Don't say it like that. Please. I'm not here to make excuses. I'm here because I regret everything. I regret what I did to you. I regret hurting someone who actually cared. I shook my head. You made choices. I lived with the consequences. She wiped her face. I know I don't deserve anything from you. Not forgiveness. Not kindness. Nothing. But when I saw you today, I realized I had to face you. Even if you hate me. I don't hate you, I said. But I'm not the man you left. I'm not broken anymore. She stared at me like she didn't recognize me. You look stronger. Different. Happier. I worked for that, I said. And I'm not losing it. Emma hugged her arms around herself. I just wanted to talk like old times. Just hear your voice without fighting. There are no old times left, I replied. You can talk, but you don't get to pretend nothing happened. She nodded quickly. You're right. I had to try. For a moment, silence settled between us, thick and uncomfortable. She whispered, Do you ever think about us? About what we were? No, I said. Not anymore. She flinched again. I deserve that. I sighed. Emma, what do you want from me? She took a shaky breath. Closure. Maybe forgiveness someday. Maybe a chance to fix things. I know I sound pathetic. You sound lost, I said. But fixing things isn't an option. She pressed her lips together. I figured. I just hoped. Maybe part of you missed me. I missed the version of you that cared, I said. Not the one who walked away. She wiped her eyes again. I'm really sorry. I heard you, I replied. But I'm not here to save you. She nodded, defeated. I won't bother you again. I just needed to say it. I watched her step back, trembling. For a moment, I almost felt the old ache. But then it faded. Take care of yourself, I said. She looked up sadly. You too. She turned to leave, but something in me refused to let the moment end so cleanly. Emma, I said, and she stopped instantly, like the sound still carried weight for her. I sighed. Why now? After all this time? She faced me with a broken smile. Because I saw what I threw away, and I finally realized it wasn't you who wasn't enough. It was me. I didn't answer. I couldn't. She whispered, I hope your new life treats you better than I ever did. Then she walked away, tired, and I felt the past finally loosen its grip on me. I stood there frozen when Emma stepped closer, her voice already breaking. Please don't walk away, she whispered. I need to say this. I need you to hear me. I stayed still, waiting. She looked exhausted, mascara smeared, eyes trembling. I ruined everything, she said. You, me, us. I destroyed the only stable thing I ever had. I swallowed. Emma. No, she said quickly. Let me finish. She wrapped her arms around herself, like she was trying to keep from collapsing. I chose Liam because he felt exciting, because he made me feel alive in ways I mistook for love. I thought intensity meant passion. I thought peace meant boredom. I was an idiot. I exhaled slowly, tried to steady myself. He said everything I wanted to hear, she continued. He made big promises, big gestures. He made me feel like I was stepping into some movie romance. And I didn't see how unstable he was. I didn't see the lies. I didn't see anything. I just ran toward the thrill. I looked at the ground. You made a choice. I know, she whispered, and it was the worst decision of my life. He used me. He cheated. He lied. He destroyed my confidence piece by piece. And when I finally broke, I looked at myself and realized the person who truly loved me wasn't there anymore. Because I pushed him away. Her voice cracked badly. I push you away. My chest tightened, but I kept my face steady. Emma, why say all this now? She took a shaking breath. Because watching you rebuild your life, watching you grow, succeed, smile again, made me realize what I threw away. You look confident now, happy, strong, and I hate myself because I only understood your worth after losing you. I didn't respond. I couldn't. She stepped closer again. I miss you, she whispered. I miss the way you cared. I miss how safe I felt with you. I miss waking up knowing someone loved me beyond the surface. I miss being the person you believed I could be. Her tears fell freely now. I miss us so much it hurts. I closed my eyes for a moment. Emma, what do you want from me? She hesitated, then said the words I once dreamed of hearing. I want to ask if we could try again. One chance. One clean start. I know I don't deserve it. I know I broke you, but I had to ask. Because losing you, it's been killing me. My heart pounded, but not the way it used to around her. There was no spark, no longing, only heaviness. I waited years to hear all this, I admitted. I imagined what it would feel like if you apologized, if you regretted everything. But now that it's happening, I don't feel what I thought I would. She hugged her arms tighter. So what do you feel? Tired, I said quietly. Just tired. She flinched like I'd hit her. So, there's no chance? I shook my head slowly. No, I'm not the same person who begged you to stay. I rebuilt myself, and going back would break everything I've worked for. Emma nodded painfully. I deserve that, she whispered. But it still hurts. It hurts me too, I said. But not in the same way. It's just letting go. She wiped her face, breathing unevenly. I hope your new life keeps getting better, she said. Even if I'm not in it. And I hope you heal, I replied. Truly. She turned away, shoulders shaking. Goodbye. Goodbye, I whispered, feeling the past finally loosen its grip on me. I saw her standing there, trembling, like she'd already rehearsed this scene 1,000 times in her head. Emma, I said quietly, bracing myself. She looked at me with wide, teary eyes. Please, can we talk? I let out a slow breath. We're talking, I said. Her voice cracked. I want you to know I didn't know how much I was throwing away. I miss you. I heard you, I said. But missing me isn't the same as repairing what's broken. She stepped closer, shaking. I know I hurt you. I know I betrayed you. But can't we try? Just once? I'll do anything. I shook my head. Emma, listen to me. I don't hate you. I don't feel that anymore. But I can't go back. I'm not the same man you left. Her lips trembled. You don't even want me to try? I'm telling you the truth, I said. I've fought to heal. I built a life without you because I had to survive. Because I had to learn my own worth. She blinked rapidly, tears rolling down her cheeks. So everything we had meant nothing? It meant something, I said softly. It taught me who I am. It taught me I can survive. But it also taught me that some betrayals, some choices break things that can never be fixed. She staggered back as if my words hit her physically. But I'm begging you. Please think again. Give us a chance. I shook my head firmly. I can, Emma. Not because I don't care. Not because I'm cruel. But because I care too much about myself now to let the past pull me under again. I've grown. I've healed. And I won't let anyone take that from me. Not even you. She dropped her gaze, sobbing quietly. I don't know how to make you understand. You don't need to, I said. What I needed was clarity. And I have it. You don't get to step back into my life and erase the time I spent rebuilding. Her hands trembled, and she whispered, I was wrong. I was so wrong. I'll do anything to fix this. You can't fix it, I said. Not now. Not ever. Some things are irreparable. That's the lesson I've learned. That's the truth I've lived with every day since you left. She stood there for a long moment, letting the words sink in. I could see the fight leave her, replaced by despair. I'm sorry, she finally said, voice barely audible. I know, I replied, feeling a calm settle over me, strange but welcome. And I forgive you, but forgiveness doesn't mean going back. It means I release the pain, and I keep moving forward. Her shoulders slumped, and she turned away, walking slowly into the distance. I watched her leave, the tension in my chest slowly fading. The ache was still there, but it was lighter, quieter. My phone buzzed. It was Lena. Hey, want to grab dinner? She asked. I smiled at the timing, at the way the world nudged me forward. Yeah, I said. I'll meet you. I slipped the phone into my pocket and looked at the empty street where Emma had disappeared. I felt something I hadn't felt in years, peace. Not because the past was perfect, not because it didn't hurt, but because I chose myself over it. I chose my future. And for the first time in a long time, I knew I was going to be okay. I walked into the small, cozy restaurant and spotted Lena waving from a corner table. Hey, she called, her smile bright. I smiled back, sliding into the seat across from her. Hey, thanks for asking me out. Of course, she said, folding her hands on the table. You look like you needed this. I chuckled softly. Maybe I did. Or maybe I just needed someone who doesn't remind me of a train wreck named Emma. Lena laughed, and it was warm, genuine. Ouch, that's harsh. Harsh, but true, I said. I mean, I'm finally out of that storm. But sometimes I forget what it feels like to just enjoy life without ghosts hovering over me. She tilted her head, curious. So, are we talking about ghosts or about dinner? Both, I said, smiling. But mostly ghosts. And trust me, yours isn't one of them. She raised an eyebrow. Flattery and dinner at the same time? Dangerous combination. I laughed. I'll take my chances. We ordered our meals, and the conversation flowed effortlessly about work, friends, ridiculous shows we'd watched, even debates about the worst coffee spots in the city. For the first time in months, I felt light. My chest didn't ache with the weight of betrayal. My heart wasn't clutching at a past that no longer existed. You know, Lena said, stirring her drink, I'm glad you're here. Alive. Smiling. You've changed. But for the better. I nodded, looking down at my hands. I guess I had to lose myself completely before I could find me again. She leaned forward. And did you? I think so, I admitted. Emma's tears, her regrets, they don't sting like they would have before. I feel closure. I don't feel joy. I don't feel revenge. I just feel free. Good, she said softly. Because you deserve that. I smiled, a real smile that reached my eyes. Thanks, Lena. Really. The rest of the evening passed with laughter and easy conversation. I felt a warmth that wasn't tied to longing or hurt. It was new, quiet, and steady. A spark that reminded me I could be happy without dragging the past along. Later, when I got home, I poured a glass of water and stepped out onto my balcony. The city lights shimmered like tiny stars scattered below me, indifferent to everything I had endured. I thought about Emma's tears, the apology I'd waited years to hear, and I realized it didn't matter anymore. I whispered to the night, this story isn't about losing her. It's about finding myself, about surviving, about rebuilding what was broken inside me and refusing to let it define me again. I leaned on the railing, breathing in the cold, clear air. The memories that once clawed at me, the betrayal that had shattered me, they were still there, but they no longer had power. Not over my choices, not over my happiness. I let the quiet settle over me. I'm finally free, I said again, and this time I meant it. The lights of the city blinked back, indifferent yet comforting, and for the first time, I felt whole. Not because the past had forgiven me, not because anyone else had changed, but because I had. And standing there, Looking out at the endless skyline, I knew I wouldn't let history dictate my story again. I had written my ending, my life, my closure. The night whispered its calm approval, and I finally let go, stepping back inside with a lightness I hadn't known I could feel.